So when we think about synchronous, first thing we want to think about is you're doing it on a set schedule. So you have a set time that you meet with X class, and then you meet with the second class at this time, and so forth. And that schedule would continue. It doesn't have to be the same as your normal school day, but it can be a set schedule that they always know at this time we meet, and this is what we go over. And, we're required to meet at this time. This is when the class content is happening. They can't just go on it on their own and be able to just miss it. Although you could record things so they, some circumstance, someone needed it, you could do that. The other thing is all students in the class attend at that time. So it's not like, I said earlier that they get to choose. It's just all students are there, they're participating, they're part of the class, just like you would in the normal physical classroom. As far as content, your content should be delivered in the same way. Most people are using some sort of technology to deliver content. Their lectures themselves are still aided by some sort of presentation or maybe props or other things. So it's not just a talking head, although a talking head is fine too, kind of mixing those things up. But basically, your content is either a live video or maybe even a recording of a live video, because if you record your videos, then you can actually watch the students and react and kind of manage the chat room. So that way you can monitor two things, because if you're just up there teaching, then you can't necessarily monitor that, but still you're live in the classroom with them. So another way is students participating in class, similar to how they participate on your on-site. So if you expect them to answer questions, ask questions. If you expect them to break out into groups and work together, then maybe you set up some sort of document or some sort of way where they can collaborate and work together. Or maybe they leave the meeting for a couple minutes and then they come back and share what they've come up with together. So having that in there is a very good thing, and doing it in small amounts too. But you will have to make some adjustments, but the idea is the participation and the interaction's the same. As far as assignments, again, distributing them, giving them the same type of, whether they're working on a doc or they're using some sort of maybe a Jamboard to kind of collaborate together. And you have similar expectations. So at the end of class, this should be turned in, and you should finish this after class, things like that. It's not that they're going off on their own. All of their content and their questions and their clarification should happen during that class time. Next thing, feedback. Feedback is very important throughout all of remote learning and distance learning. But the nice thing about Synchronous is it's instant feedback for both the teacher and the student. So you can tell body language, you can tell by the words they're saying whether they understand something, what's going on, and by their direct questioning. For the student, they're getting the feedback they need from you rather than them working on an assignment and getting stuck and not knowing how to do it. And they search and search and they end up wasting, down the internet rabbit hole for 30 minutes for something you could have just clarified in one sentence. So, again, really good. Now, this is kind of just a review of the things. Make sure you have a set schedule. Make sure all students are attending at that set time. Your course content should be the same, so just continue on with your what you were teaching anyway, and just think about your the way they're going to participate and what things they do have to turn into you and what they don't. As far as the assignments and activities, you might have to change some things that you may have distributed by paper or had them work in groups in a different way. And then course feedback is always important. So now let's go to